Number one thing that every guy needs is to be in fucking physical shape. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. If that offends you, good. Probably get the fuck out of here. For the guys who know that that's the case, you stick around, because by the end of this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to get into shape, how to stay in shape year round, actually achieve the results that you want in life. Most men think getting into shape is just about how they look in the mirror, but it's not. It's about who you become through that process. Sticking to what you said you were going to stick to, even when it's the last thing you want to do. Showing up for yourself and following through on your word. That's what builds real confidence. And that confidence transfers into every area of your life. I've lived at 12% body fat now for the last 4 years. And the one thing that people don't tell you is where the real change actually happens. It's not within your body. It's within your life. Your career, your business, your relationships, your self-belief, your confidence, the conviction that you have in yourself. They're the real changes that actually happen. The visuals, the body is a byproduct. It's who you become that's the real win. And when you actually sit and think about it, when you're not in shape, or you're in this constant cycle of getting into shape, falling out of shape, maybe pushing hard for 4 weeks, off track for 2 weeks, and you're just stuck in this constant loop, what is that actually costing you? The predictable energy, the mental clarity, the confidence and the self-trust within yourself because you're sticking to what you said you're going to stick to. What does that cost you in other areas of your life? If you don't have the energy, the conviction to show up and achieve what you want with your physique, it's going to be very, very hard to do that in any other area of your life. And guys, the way I look at the physique, it's your body's a vehicle. It's the vehicle to achieve those bigger dreams in life that we have. The relationships, the freedom to travel, the business, the careers, they're the real wins that we want out of life. And they're the real desires that every guy wants. At the end of the day, if you don't want those desires, you should probably leave this video. Being 100% honest, because who doesn't want to have these? We're guys at the end of the day. We want to have a fit fucking chick by our side. We want to have nice cars, freedom, that inner alignment as well, and that true confidence within ourselves to actually live the lives that we want and have that fulfillment on a daily basis. But if you're showing up with brain fog, with low energy, if you don't truly like the man that's looking back at you in the mirror because your habits are all out of whack or your fucking vices have taken over, you're not going to be fulfilled on a daily basis. And true fulfillment comes down to aligning to the goals that you want, getting crystal clear and having that crystal clear clarity as to what you want actually out of life. Whether it's a family, whether it's a job, a career, income, impact, whatever it might be, having a clear goal to work towards, that's where true fulfillment comes from. And then the body is the vehicle to facilitate and to achieve those goals. The body is the foundation. And what building the body actually does is, it gives you that true self-respect. It gives you the trust within yourself. Because how you do one thing is how you do everything. So if you set targets for yourself of building a physique, but you keep missing your diet, you keep sleeping in late, you keep hitting the snooze button, drinking too much alcohol on the weekends, you're setting goals and then you're not hitting those goals. We're guys. If you haven't already set a fucking goal of getting into shape, you have a lot of work to do. I'm sorry to say it, but number one thing that every guy needs is to be in fucking physical shape. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. If that offends you, good. Probably get the fuck out of here. For the guys who know that that's the case, you stick around, because by the end of this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to get into shape, how to stay in shape year round, and actually achieve the results that you want in life. So that self-confidence that you get and trust from showing up by ticking the boxes off, each day you have a decision to make. It's like you're voting for the version of you that you want to become or the version of you that you don't want to become. There's two versions right now of you. And it's your daily inputs that allow you to become that version. The version of you that's low in energy, out of shape, no confidence, or the version of you that has high confidence, high energy, mental clarity, on his fucking mission, working towards his purpose. Each day you make a vote. And if you vote against that person each day, it's bringing you further away from that dream life that you want. If you vote for that person, it's building that self-trust because you're showing up for yourself, but it's getting you closer. So you have to be very, very intentional with your daily actions. And you nearly need to micromanage what you're doing on a daily basis. But actually having a clear roadmap for your physique and a clear blueprint to tick off, that's the easiest way to install that habit of showing up for yourself. Once you then build a physique, you can then say, okay, now I want to scale my business, build my business. I want to leave my 9 to 5. I want to start a new side hustle. Same thing. You get crystal clear clarity. You have your business blueprint, and then you show up each and every day. But because once you've done that with your physique, you can then transfer those same traits, that same discipline from the physique into any other area of your life. That is the most important thing, is those character traits to build a physique are the same character traits that you can build a business and build a life that you want. Getting into shape is also an absolute cheat code when it comes to social settings. And what I mean by social settings is, I'm not just talking about just for chicks, which it obviously is good. You don't even have to open your mouth and women will be attracted to you. It's as simple as that. Yes, because you look like a sexy bastard, you have an aesthetic physique, you're jacked, you're lean, but on a subconscious level, they're like, he can look after himself. He clearly has discipline. He looks very, very fucking capable. He looks like he could provide for me. He looks like he could be a great father because he's on his shit, he's disciplined. These are the real things that women want. They say they want a fucking dad bod. They don't want a fucking dad bod. They want someone that can look after themselves, be in shape. That is what truly attracts women. Again, is the character traits of the man that builds a physique. But you obviously have to keep groomed, have a nice tan, get those abs out. It's always a bonus. Your first impression is key. But when it comes to business opportunities, networking, like I've myself signed so many clients from just being in an elevator in Dubai, in London, and people ask me questions and then just connect, and then eventually they come work with me and then they achieve the results that they want. But me besides point, I've had clients that have come to me. They've gone through a whole 6-month transformation and they notice the exact same benefits. They're in elevators or they're out walking. I had one last month, one of the guys, he was out walking his dog with his vest on, started having this conversation with a guy, and now there's a business opportunity out of it. Just because he was in shape, the other guy was in shape, they connected because they're, you have that mutual respect for someone that's in shape. And they're potentially, he sent me a message the last day, they're potentially looking at starting up a new business together, which is nuts, because it's just the shit that happens is pretty fucking wild. It really, really is. Even to when I first started training, I remember I say this, I know, I'm listing out things here, but truly, this will transform your life by getting into shape. And my own experience, I was working on a construction site in Canada for 2 years. 6 months I committed to the gym. 6 months I went all in. 6 months I got crystal clear on the goals that I wanted. And within 6 fucking months, I'd left my 9 to 5 job in construction and I'd started my online business within 6 months. Because I went all in. So this will truly transform your life. And it's done it multiple times. Each time you level up the physique, there's been a level up in my life. The first time I went all in, 6 months, online business. The second time, moved to Spain. The third time, moved to Dubai. Every time, the more disciplined you are with your diet and you're locked in with it, it turns you into a different savage. It truly turns you into a different savage. And when you're a different savage, mentally, and you put that focus not just into the physique, but into all areas of your life, it transforms your life and it will transform it forever. But the key is to get into shape and stay in shape. We don't want to just get in shape and then fall out of shape. No, we get in shape and we stay in shape. I want to show you something actually. This is one of my clients here, he's been with me now. He's basically gone through the 4 stages of total control. All right, we got it up. So this is one of the guys here. He went from here to here. I'll actually just show you more as well. Like this is just clockwork, guys. At the end of the day, this is truly clockwork. Another guy here, from into shape to peak physical shape, 10% body fat. It's another one. There's hundreds of them, by the way. But it's like, once you go through these phases, you get into shape. And these are all high level guys. These guys have businesses, they've online businesses, they've guys that have been through the process that have now started their online businesses. But there's business owners with restaurants, food and beverage industry. These are all higher level guys, right? And it's like, they bring themselves through the process. 4 phases they bring themselves to. They get the body into peak physical condition. They align to the goals that they want. They act from the assumption of already achieving the goals they want, the life goals they want, the body goals they want. You go through the priming phase. This is where you lay the foundation. You get crystal clear clarity on what it actually is you want out of life. Because that's important. If you don't have direction, you don't know where you're going to go. And it's funny, once you really get crystal clear on what you want out of life, it's like the red car theory. You want to buy a red car, the exact car, and then you haven't seen them anywhere, and then all of a sudden you see them everywhere. That's the exact same with your goals. If you don't have that crystal clear clarity with your goals, your reticular activating system essentially will scan for what you focus on most. So once you have your crystal clear clarity, you'll start scanning for that more subconsciously, and you'll start to see more opportunities, synchronicities come in, things that were always there but you maybe didn't see. So that's why in that priming phase you need to get clarity on what you want with the life and also with your physique. You then lay the foundation. You design your routine in a specific way. So it's like, you have to take into consideration your current lifestyle, your business, your career, your relationships, how many times you can train, the nutrition that you enjoy eating. You lay that foundation, you recomp the body, you build muscle, reduce body fat in that first phase. The second phase, then you go into the peak phase, where you get to that 10% body, you get into peak physical condition. You raise the standards, you operate at the highest standard you've ever fucking operated at, but your day is still designed in a way where you're, yes, going all in with your physique, but aligning to your goals as well. So you set up your calendar in a specific way, you align your identity to the end state, and you then build the physical proof by going all in with your body. Into that reverse phase then is where you install the systems. So there's no regression, there's no rebound. You adjust your approach, your output comes down. Your output comes down and your input, the amount of food that you're consuming goes up. And then what happens? You start to fill out. So when you get lean and you get conditioned, you're truly conditioned, you're 10% body fat. But as you start to reverse out, you start to fill out. You start growing lean muscle tissue within that phase. And it becomes easy to sustain year round. And that's the key. Because most guys get into shape, but then they fall out of shape so very fucking quickly, which is what we don't want. Because what happens, as I said at the start of the video, you're then stuck in this cycle of getting into shape and out of shape, into shape, out of shape. We want to get into shape, we want to maintain that shape. And then what happens? When you maintain it from that reverse phase, you go into that final total control phase. And this is when you're mentally sharp, you're physically capable, you have all the benefits that you get from being in shape, but you now can focus on achieving all the other desires that you have in life because you're mentally sharp, you're in shape. So what happens? You stop getting in and out of these cycles of in a shape, out of shape, high energy, low energy, high cognitive function, low cognitive function. You go through it once, you achieve all the outcomes, and then you can just focus on every other area of your life and really start building the life that you want. Focusing on the business, the career, the family, upskilling in other areas of your life. We don't want to be stuck in cycles of getting in and out of shape. We want to focus on getting into shape, upskilling, more knowledge, more education. When you're mentally sharp, you can do whatever the fuck you want to do because you've turned into a savage, and you can then focus on acquiring skills in other areas of your life. And then you're in the top 0.0001%. When you're physically in shape, you're mentally sharp, you've skills that you're acquiring on a daily, weekly basis, you're consistently upskilling, your business is doing well, you're making money from your career, like you are literally in the top 0.001% of individuals when you go through this process. It's as simple as that. So really just focus on getting into shape and just becoming the best version of yourself. Close that gap between who you know you're capable of becoming and the version of you right now. The only difference, guys, between this version of you and here is what you do each and every day. It comes down to your daily actions. So that's why you have to show up every day and do the work. You build the body. You start stacking the other habits on top of that as well. You close that gap. You become the man you're capable of becoming, that you know you're capable of becoming, that has the partner, that has the business, that has the life, the confidence, the clarity, the inner alignment, the purpose on a daily basis, the fulfillment on a day-to-day life. Because fuck waking up every single day in a body you don't like, with low energy levels, with no purpose on your day-to-day life. And I'm only saying this because I was there, guys. I was going to a job that I hated, struggling to get by, on a 9 to 5, drinking every single weekend. The vices took over, the alcohol, the lust, the drugs. It was all an escape. When you're living in that position, it's a fucking shit position, and I've been there. Compared to when you're just showing up each and every day, focusing on your body, your mind, your business, your career, your upskilling, having crystal clear clarity on what you want out of life, guys. It is night and fucking day. And I want that for you. I want you to be able to feel how it feels to look in the mirror and just fucking love who you are and have that true, like, look in the mirror and be like, you're the fucking man. Because you show up each and every day. You have a clear blueprint for what it is that you want out of life, and you tick the boxes each and every day. That is true fulfillment. It's not about achieving the goals that you want. It really isn't. And I've been in that case as well, where I've set goals, I've achieved the goals, I thought I was the man, my standards slip. My daily habits slipped. The vices crept in again. And before I knew it, I fucking was not happy with the man I was looking back at in the mirror. And then that's when I truly realized it's not about the accolades that you have out of life. It's about what you do each and every day. It's about how you show up for yourself each and every day. That's what will give you that real fulfillment in life. And that's what I want for you. If you want to work with me, one-to-one, if you want to build an aesthetic physique, have crystal clear clarity, peak performance in all areas of your life, and actually become the man your vision demands, you can click the link below, bring you to a short form. You can put your name, your WhatsApp number, your email. I'll reach out to you on WhatsApp and we can have a chat. It's as simple as that. Peace and love. See you in the next one.